Hello, my name is Nathaniel Levinson, but I go by Nate and I use he, him pronouns. I am from Westchester, New York, where I was born and raised for my whole life before coming to Binghamton University. I have seen some live theater in my time, the first of which was actually Hamilton, all the way back in 2015, when it was new and on the minds of everyone. I then saw Dear Evan Hansen in 2016, but in terms of musical theater, that's all for me. I have been in musicals before, however, but never as an actor, but rather as a member of the ensemble as a drummer. Um, a fun fact about me is that as I previously mentioned, I have been drumming since second grade, and I performed in multiple musicals doing so, one of which being Annie the Musical. Another fun fact about me is that my suite mate is also named Nate. So when we first got here, we played rock paper scissors to decide who goes by Nate and who goes by something else because it would be too confusing, and I lost. So now my friends here call me Levy. So to describe the Hamilton musical, three words I'd use are impressive, incredible, and entertaining. Impressive because not only were all the actors and actresses incredibly talented, but the dancers were also amazing. Incredible because of all the reasons I just mentioned, but also because all the songs were catchy and easy to follow along with, making the experience very enjoyable. And entertaining because something was always happening. Every song was necessary to making the musical flow so well. Hamilton the musical was all about perseverance, in my opinion, and not giving in even when everyone and everything says that you have to. I believe that the artists wanted the audience to think about Hamilton far after seeing the production, and to take the lessons presented in it and apply it to their own lives. And I would say that the artists were successful in achieving this, as Hamilton has stood the test of time and is continuously talked about today. People have been personally impacted by the production, so I would say that the artists were very successful. Owning your own is a very important topic that I'm glad was taught slash reiterated, as it is something that we should be considered not only in the classroom, but in everyday life as well. While the ideas weren't necessarily new to me, it did make me think about whether or not I had been doing a good job on that front, both in and out of the classroom. Now, it isn't shocking to me that there are a multitude of issues with theater currently. There are issues with everything in the world. Now, what really stood out to me was the alarming amount of white people that dominate the productions, whether it be on stage or off, leaving little to no room for any minority. Article 1 focused very heavily on how the theater industry has become very heavily dominated by white people, and often forces people of color into the shadows through multiple structures of the industry, such as unions, board meetings, and fundraising campaigns. Article 2 focused on the same ideas presented in Article 1, and how hard it is for a person of color to be in theater. Time and time again, the theater industry limits minorities in their opportunities, and this article is a call to action for change to be brought to the industry. Article 3 focuses on the casting controversy that Hamilton seems to have, as many of the actors and actresses in the production are people of color, as the Hamilton production team insisted having the main cast to be depicted as such. This has led to a spread of discourse on whether it is okay to force these characters based on real people to be depicted as a minority, or if they should be cast to be as accurate as possible. Article 4 talks about reasons as to why Hamilton the Musical is not as revolutionary and amazing as many claim it to be. Some of the reasons for this claim is how poorly the production handles feminism and female characters as a whole, its messages regarding immigrants and how working hard will get you far, and its colorblind casting. Article 5 talks about Lin-Manuel Miranda, the creator of Hamilton, as a person, as it breaks down why many people dislike the musical, mostly due to the very within the boundaries take it has on history. Miranda himself has been targeted due to picking and choosing with the parts of history which he chooses to incorporate into the musical, making for a not as accurate representation. Reading through all these articles felt very informative, as each one brought forward a different perspective and problem that both Hamilton and theater in general face. These articles felt like they were written for people my age, the next generation of theater, so that we can learn from past mistakes and move forward as a community. Now, personally, I have been following Hamilton controversy for quite some time now, as even as a sixth grader, I too was confused as to why much of Hamilton, the musical, veered away from history. I feel as though Hamilton is a great example of creating an entertaining production, rather than one that focuses in on the nitty gritty of history. And in that sense, I think it does a fantastic job. Many of the criticisms of the production are very fair, but if you take it as it is, Hamilton is an amazing production.